Hi, I'm Jeffrey Hamelman from the King Arthur Flour Company in Vermont, and today Kristen Fenn is going to show you all kinds of different tips and techniques for making a nice assortment of specialty cupcakes.
Hi, I'm Kristen Fenn, and today I'll be demonstrating for you some chocolate dipped strawberry cupcakes. So I'm going to go ahead and make a quick ganache for you. This ganache is going to be 2 parts 61% dark chocolate and 1 part heavy cream. I'm just going to bring that to a low boil. Okay, that's come to a low boil, so I'm just going to pull that off and pour that right over the chocolate. I'm just going to let that sit for just a moment so the chocolate starts to melt. While that's doing its magic, we're going to move over to the cupcakes. We're going to fill these cupcakes with this ganache. So I'm going to cut a hole into each one. The hole, you're going to want it to be a little bit bigger than a $1/2, and it's also a bit of a cone shape. So again, I'm just cutting right into the cupcake, a little bit bigger than a $1/2 there, in a cone shape. You certainly don't want to go all the way down, and you don't want to go all the way through the bottom because your filling will leak out. Okay, we'll just set those aside for now. We'll go back to our ganache. We're going to give that a whisk. The chocolate's nice and melted now. At this point, you want to incorporate all of that chocolate into the hot cream. There you go, easy as that. Now I let that cool just a bit, because if it's too hot, it's going to seep right into the cupcake, and you won't have much of a filling once you bite into it. So I let that cool. I'm going to use a small scoop and just scoop right into the cupcake, almost to the top. You don't want to go all the way to the top because it's going to push right out of there when you put the top back on. Okay, at this point, I'm just going to pull this part off, or go ahead and cut it off, whatever you prefer. Put it right back on the cupcake. These little pieces you can set aside onto a cooling rack, and after a couple days they'll dry right out, and you can grind them and use them for cake crumbs, for decorating the sides of a cake, or even on your cupcakes. So don't throw those away, you can use those again. I like to use what we call an American buttercream that has a much better mouthfeel, and it's a much more traditional frosting for our cupcakes. It's made from butter and confectioner sugar and a little bit of flavoring. We use vanilla here. At that point, you can add any other flavorings that you like. Here we're going to use some farm fresh strawberries that I went ahead and put into the food processor. The whole berry, so you're getting all the seeds, you're getting some nice bits of strawberries in there, so you'll see that in your frosting. Pour some of this mixture into there. There's no magic amount as to how much you're going to be using. It's personal preference, but you can go too far. So start with a little, see how that looks, and then add as you go. Okay, I'm just going to scrape down the sides of the bowl. It's very important to make sure that everything is incorporated. You'll see here that there's definitely some frosting there that did not get incorporated. So I'm going to just scrape my bowl. And you'll also see that this looks like it's starting to break a little bit. And that happened because my strawberry puree was a little bit cool. So anytime that happens, all you have to do is take a flame to your bowl and warm it up just a little bit. You can either use a torch, or you can take the bowl right off, put it over a direct flame. Keep your flame moving. Okay, perfect. I'm going to take this right off, and I'm getting ready to pipe now. So for this cupcake, since the frosting has bits of fruit in there, I'm going to use just an open round tip. You don't want to use a star tip because the bits of fruit will get stuck into the tip itself, and it won't have a very nice clean finish. So filling my bag, I'm just folding the top down. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold it in my left hand, basically like this. I'm going to use my finger to scrape the frosting into the bag. And just fold that right on down. And I squeeze the frosting down and pipe some out so there's no air bubbles. I'm also going to twist the bag so nothing comes out the top, and also gives me a little bit more control when I squeeze the frosting out. So piping on these, you want to make sure that you cover the entire surface on the top here to hide the top that we cut out. So you'll see that there's bits of the strawberry in there. That's a sure example why you want to use this particular tip. We'll just keep piping around here up to the top and release. You want to cover that whole top there, continue on around. I'm going to use that same ganache that we use as our filling and dip some strawberries in it. There's no need to use any tempered chocolate or anything special. You have this on hand, so you might as well use it. Choose the best strawberries that you have. Any of the strawberries that are a little overripe, you're going to use for your strawberry puree in your strawberry buttercream anyway, so just choose the best ones here. And these, after I dip them, I like to let them set in the fridge till they're set up. Okay, so using some strawberries that I've already dipped, I'm going to just use those as a garnish. After I finish garnishing the cupcakes, I like to put them in the fridge just to set the frosting so when you're traveling with them, you know that the frosting is secure, but they're ready to eat just as they are.